Well, I'm back in the wood shop today. Got torn away yesterday to go to the big city. Did some errands, sold some honey, spent some money. That makes the world go round, right? Just I seem to spend more money than I actually bring in. But hopefully that's going to be turning around here soon. So one thing I picked up yesterday is my newly sharpened blades. Let's see. They cover them in this waxy kind of a product so you don't cut yourself, because I'll tell you, you could cut yourself on that. Those are very, very sharp. They do a nice job. Here's a kind of a funny thing that happened. I took in, previous week, almost 2 weeks ago. It doesn't take them that long to sharpen, but I don't get in the city very often to pick up. So I took these three 10-inch blades for my table saw to be sharpened. And I picked them up yesterday. And I also got this 12-inch blade. I kind of looked at that. It has my customer number and my name engraved on it. And I realized that I had taken this blade in to be sharpened. I don't even remember when. This is the blade for my sliding compound miter saw, my Bosch saw that you've seen in my other videos. And I guess she probably called me or whatever, and I just never went around to pick it up and forgot about it. So I'm glad she kind of put it in the little bin with my name on it, because I'm picking these up. She put that in the stack. $20 a piece. $20 a piece for sharpening. I think that's a good deal, because those are at least as good as new now. They are probably, they could be sharper than they are from the factory. They do a very good job. They'll replace carbides if the carbides are chipped or missing. If a blade gets bad enough that's missing carbides, they generally throw it out. But the saw blade itself, you have to really have something happen to that to make it not serviceable. So just sharpening it, even replacing carbides. Once you start replacing carbides, however, then the price starts to go up quite a bit, because they have to attach them on. I'm not sure how they attach them. I suspect it's some kind of a wild and crazy high-tech glue. I don't think they braze them on, but they might. And they sharpen them up. So like I say, for $20 I've basically got a brand new blade, and I can have that sharpened a number of times, probably half a dozen times or so, before I need to replace that or even think about replacing it. I want to thank everybody who sticks it out and watches these videos. I really don't know what to put up for videos what you find interesting. So thanks for watching the videos. Thank you for those of you who comment. I really would like some comments, some suggestions on what you want to see. What do you want to see? I just kind of making video. I mean, I made a video yesterday of just rambling while I was driving. Did you find that interesting at all? If not, tell me. Then I'll kind of change things up a bit and maybe not do that. If you don't tell me, I'll assume that you like it, and I only have analytics to go by, how many views and maybe how many thumbs up kind of thing. But let me know what you want to see. What kinds of things are you interested in? You want to see more about honey? You want to see more about the tractor or the warming cabinet or the bee barn or there's not much to see this time of year really, but there's some, I suppose. So anyway, let me know what you want to see, and thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I really don't know what I'm doing with these videos. It's just kind of fun making them, uploading to YouTube. I get to interact with the people who comment. I talk to people from time to time, and I'll tell them about something. Oh, I did this the other day, or I did that, and they'll say, yeah, I know, I follow you on YouTube. That's fine, and I think, oh, okay, I won't bore you with that again. But it's really flattering to find people, I follow you on YouTube. That's kind of cool. Not that I really think that I'm that was special to follow, but I guess, I follow a number of people too. Some of them really aren't very interesting, and some of them are very interesting. I usually get something out of each video that I watch. So I won't bore you any further with that. I think the point is made. I'm thankful for the viewership. I'm very much looking for feedback as to what you'd like to see. Would you like to see more in-depth how to build stuff videos, perhaps, here in the wood shop? I haven't been really going into video with these last few. It's just sort of, you're a fly on the wall while I cut lumber and whatnot. And that's partly because I've actually done fairly detailed videos on this exact process in the past, at least on assembly, why I build things the way I do and how I assemble them. Cutting lumber and stuff isn't really that, I mean, basic table saw techniques, basic mighty saw techniques, that's all I'm using. If you want to know more about what I'm doing, just running lumber through the table. If you want to know more about my table saw, somebody commented, oh, you have a nice table saw. I have a fantastically nice table saw. I'm very, very thankful for this table saw. This came into my life a few years ago, and I can't afford this table saw today. So I'm extremely thankful for this. I see people using $100 and $500 table saws, these little, upside down circular saw kind of table saws, and I don't criticize, because if it were today, that would be a stretch for me to buy that table saw. This table saw costs many thousands of dollars. It was purchased specifically because of the safety brake on the saw stop. However, when you buy a saw stop, you make no compromises to get that safety brake. No compromises at all, because you get one of the finest table saws available on the market today. This is a 3 horsepower, they call it a professional table saw, and that's kind of the intermediate cabinet saw. The industrial cabinet saw is above that. It's a 220 volt, 3 horsepower saw, and there's not much it won't do. You slide a piece of lumber through that and it's just going to cut it. It'll rip up to 3 inches in depth, and I've resawed a good amount of lumber on this saw, and even ripping at 3-inch depth, it just doesn't break a sweat. So it's just a fantastic table saw. I'm so thankful to have this for my builds, and my other tools too. I have some really beautiful tools here. This leads into why I worked in IT for 20 years, and the first few years of that, you don't make that much money, but I stayed at the same company for quite a while, and I didn't make crazy good money, but I made good money for a few years. And I've always enjoyed my money. I've always, said, hey, that thing will make my life nicer to buy this or buy that. And I didn't realize I was getting a layoff a few years back. But the years coming up to that, I actually invested in some good tools, some nice Milwaukee cordless tools, the table saw, the Bosch miter saw I use, a few things like that. I bought my tractor, I bought my truck, my trailer. So I actually set myself up pretty good for my post-IT days into my beekeeping days, because I had a lot of the equipment that I needed. We throw around that word need pretty easily these days in our first world society. I was set up very well with equipment that would come in at least very handy, and at best almost a critical piece of that tractor. Man, we shouldn't probably use terms like loving things, but I love that little tractor. There's hardly a day goes by I don't get on that seat and use that tractor for something. In the winter a little bit less, of course, but in the summer, daily, daily. I'm always on that tractor. I bought forks for that tractor a few years ago. I move everything around. Everything on this yard sits on a pallet. I have a big storage shed. Everything sits on a pallet. I have storage for my beekeeping equipment. Everything sits on pallets. My honey sits on pallets. My bees sit on pallets. Maybe that's why I have this problem a little too much. A little more lifting with the back and a little less with the tractor, maybe. I'm getting kind of old though too. So that's a little bit of the story, a little bit of my story there. And comment. Do you want more story? Do you want more background like that?